Do we really know what we're doing with the internet? It certainly doesn't seem like it. It's well known the effect that social media has on us, how it shortens our attention span and worsens our mental health. All of this technology only seems to be making things worse, right? Of course, that's not all there is. Social media has caused an explosion of culture and connection that we've never seen before. Research and learning are easier than ever, and it's incredible. But does it really feel like it? Isn't it awful that it also slowly breaks the people that use it? That something that should connect us makes us feel more isolated than ever. We have this miracle of technology at our fingertips that can seemingly do anything. So we have to ask ourselves, what do we want from it? Is a squall of input and mindless scrolling the muse we want to follow here? What if there was another muse to follow, based on creativity, introspection, and shared understanding? Art and expression from so many, free to be shared and judged and expanded on by so many more. What if we were given the freedom to, side by side, create worlds? Yume Nikki is a role-playing game initially released for 2004 for free, downloaded from Kikiyama, the author's personal website. It was made with software to help people make their own basic RPGs, was released only in Japanese, and only from that one website. And yet, it's a name that's held in reverence in indie game circles. Heck, it's probably the most video essay game of all time. It has no combat system or dialogue typical of RPGs. In fact, many would argue it classifies better as an experience rather than a game. Technically, it's just a game about sleeping. The thing that sets Yume Nikki apart is that in its dreams, you find worlds. Adoski opened the door. Suddenly, she was somewhere else. Numbers painted on the floor, ominous smiling faces lining the walls, and a river ran beside an opening in the wall, brimming with murky water. She passed through another strange door, leading her to a similar passage. Further on, she found dozens of beds laid out, some empty, but most with lumps in them that remained eerily still. Among them, a strange-looking caretaker watched over the beds and some empty cabinets near them. Everything about it felt wrong. Below, one of the wall faces bled from its mouth. Medoski stepped into it and fell into another world. Alarms blared, and more caretakers with insanity in their eyes came to attack her. She saw those same empty cabinets around this hellscape and tried to escape through them. Most were filled with eyes laughing at her, but one was empty, so she crawled in and found herself among the beds again. Shaken, but safe. She decided she was done with this world and pinched her cheek to wake up. Yume Nikki creates a tone of mystery and exploration in an alien, hostile, wonderful world. This adventure and mystery made people fall in love with it. It's not perfect, however. A lot of its content simply uses gore and grotesquerie to shock and unnerve the player. That isn't necessarily wrong, but it's hardly special. So, what is its significance? 516! That's how many Yume Nikki fan games are cataloged on the Yume Nikki fangame wiki. Most of them, no doubt, requiring countless hours of development to complete, between artwork, music, level design, and programming. That's not even touching on the games that were just inspired or influenced by Yume Nikki. Take Undertale, for example, the game that broke the internet and is still excessively popular today, 7 years later. Or Omori, a story of trauma and acceptance. This game gave its audience a personal awareness of mental health and struggles that no mental health awareness campaign could ever pull off, and it's heavily inspired by Yume Nikki. There was an explosion of other very popular indie RPGs in the 2000s when Yume Nikki first spread. Ib, Ao Oni, The witch's house are all likely fond childhood memories in the minds of many millennials and Gen Z today. Each one left a cultural and emotional impact on those that played them. This is Yume Nikki's importance, its legacy. It shifted the zeitgeist of video games by showing that they could be more than mindless entertainment. But its influence will fade, and it cannot become more than it already was. So where do we go from here? Yume 2kki is a fan-made sequel to Yume Nikki. It's incredibly similar to the original, the main differences being that it's far larger. Yume Nikki was already massive in itself, and it's a collaborative project. That last part means that 1, it's been developed by dozens of authors, and 2, that anyone, following certain rules, may join in. Yes, that means you, with some programming, can submit your own dream worlds to the game right now. Even that's not necessary. There are 27 authors who have merely contributed art and music assets. These people have been working on and adding to this game for more than 15 years now. It's incredible. I found Yume 2kki after finishing Yume Nikki. I loved exploring these worlds, but felt limited by the author's original style. Or maybe I'm only disappointed in retrospect, now that I've played 2kki. It's a treasure trove of conflicting visions, perspectives, and styles woven into a beautiful, messy quilt of human artistry. 2kki feels more personal, more sincere, more honest. I found myself in a room of portals, and knowing where I wanted to go, selected a colorful shape. Finding myself in a void with a neon mural on the floor, I navigated to the totem that had just recently been found. The last door led me to a new art style, reminiscent of a Mario game. I navigated through the obtuse platform puzzles, ending in a corridor where glitches and an invisible wind pushed me back. Just when it looked like everything was going to break, I leapt, and found myself in front of a static screen. I was in a messy yet cozy bedroom. Searching around this new house, it was clear I was still in dreamland. All the other rooms led to white voids. The front door, though, led to a world of white flowers and crumbling masonry, with a black tree at the center of it all. A beautiful piano piece echoed throughout the landscape. Reaching the tree, I was transported to a forest with a dark eclipse above it. Touching a flower crown on the cliff's edge, water and stone lamps suddenly appeared around the tiles I stood on. I hopped on a nearby boat and explored. Going through a tunnel, I suddenly found land under my feet again, flowers all around me and stairs in front of me, climbing up them. I found some vending machines and benches, so I grabbed a drink and sat down, just to enjoy the scenery. I've been playing Yume 2kki for almost a year, and according to the in-game counter, I've barely found 2/3 of all there is to find. The weight of human devotion and artistry to this project is absurd, unending. You can play it right now. There's a separate project called Yume Nikki Online that hosts a version of Yume Nikki, along with 8 other fan games including 2kki, all for free. It's funny, the night I found those gardens, the other players online were talking about how excited they were for Deltarune, parallel universe sequel to Undertale. Small world, huh? 2kki isn't even that unique. Online collaborative projects have been around since Wikipedia, and probably before then. For instance, there's the SCP Foundation, a collaborative writing wiki of thousands of articles on the paranormal supposedly controlled by a shadowy organization. It's a well-known internet landmark at this point, inspiring several fan games and sister wikis. Then there's the Backrooms, an urban legend turned genre, spawning several collaborative wikis, fan games, and YouTube series based around liminal spaces. And what about the incredible amount of fan fiction and fan art on the internet? People coming together to bounce ideas off of each other and share their visions for art and stories. Granted, most of this is not what you'd call fine art. It's made by people just like you and me, often teenagers, but I don't think that means it's worthless. On the contrary, isn't regular people being inspired to create and write and compose wonderful? Through the internet, we have an avenue to create and share anything. And yet it's often reduced to corporate drama and empty content. What if we could change our course? Place more importance on the art, culture, and collaboration rather than doom scrolling and highlight reels? What if we supported and focused on independent creators and art projects rather than corporations and expectations? Maybe by following these muses of human potential and following in their footsteps, we can make more of what we have. It's up to you.